everyone, and welcome to Pause and Unwind Finding Peace in the Present. I'm Malvika Karnad, and I'm a counseling psychologist and EFT practitioner by profession. And I'm very happy to be here to share a topic that's very close to my heart, and that's about being as present as possible. And as the title suggests, we are going to be trying to use this concept of pausing and unwinding. And I hope that you guys can avail of that in today's session. And I hope that you have, even if it's the micro level, I hope you have wonderful takeaways from today. Okay, so just a little bit about me. Yeah. So I'm a counseling psychologist and EFT practitioner with around more than 1.5 years of experience. I've worked with clients through various concerns such as trauma, stress, emotional regulation, work-life balance. I founded M4 Mental Health as a social media page in 2020. And since a year now, it's been a mental health service. So I take counseling sessions online. So that's a little bit about me. So, guys, I would love to hear from you. Why don't you put it in the chat box? Share a little bit about, in one line, just your name, location, and your profession. I would love to know about you. So let's keep this webinar as participative. So please do drop in the messages. So let's hear from you guys. Okay. Hi, Purnima. Hi, Rupali. So nice to meet you all. Come on, guys. I would love to hear from you. Anyone else who's with me? Hi, Gunjari. Okay, so we have Purnima, Rupali, Gunjari, Bahubali, Simran. Lovely. Hi, Ratna. Hi, Vartika. Hi, Riddhi. Wow, we have people from different cities. So lovely. Hi, Radhika. Okay. So keep the intros coming in. I would love to hear from you guys. Hi, Lakshmi. Oh, yoga is wonderful. I think you'll also have a lot to take away from today. Okay, that's lovely. So let's now move on to an overview of what we're in for today. Okay, right. And keep the intros coming. Okay, while we go ahead. So in today's session, we'll be talking about a few concepts. For example, mindfulness, which is very key into staying present. I will discuss all of this, what you're seeing in detail. Okay. So we have an intro to mindfulness, we have the benefits of it and the impact of it on mental health and how it's a very wonderful practice to inculcate. I'll get to that. We have two activities today. So I'll get to the activity when we reach it, but I think it's going to be really nice. And as you know, there is going to be one based on art. So I hope you have your art supplies. Hi, Divyesh. I hope we have our art supplies with us. So we're going to also talk about mindfulness in our daily lives and our workplace. Okay, very important. We're going to talk about art and mental health, how art can be a mindfulness tool and how we can integrate it for our mental health. And then we're going to hear from you guys. So Q&As and feedback. And that's when we wrap up. Okay. So just a heads up about the question and answers. Hi, Virendra. Nice to meet you. So we are going to be taking the questions at the end. So I just request if you have any question in the middle, you can just note it down on a paper or something, and then we can take the questions towards the end so that we don't disrupt the flow of the webinar. Okay, but I would definitely love to hear from you guys. Okay, so let's begin. Now, before we begin, I have a quick check-in for you guys. Okay, just take a moment. Okay, whatever you're feeling right now, if you had to describe it using a color, what would that color be? So please put your answers in the chat box. Okay, whatever that color would be, you don't have to justify why you chose that color. You don't have to have a right and a wrong. Just pick a color. Okay, so I'll start, and I would use the color yellow. describe what I'm feeling. What about you guys? Okay. We have gray, we have red, purple, green. Purple is my favorite color. We have green, white, okay, red, black, okay, blue, gray. What else, guys? What color would you use? Pink, okay, blue, black. Anyone else? We have black again, I think. Excuse me. Anyone else? Come on, guys. Use a chat box. We have a red as well. Okay. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So we just checked in with our emotions and we gave it a color. That's all we did right now. Okay. So now let's get to what mindfulness is. Okay, now we'll get to the main concept. So before I open the concept of mindfulness, guys, just with the thumbs up indication, how many of you have heard of the concept? Just have to give me a reaction. If you heard of mindfulness, or maybe nowadays we have lots of content on Instagram, so it could be that or anywhere on the internet. Have any one of you heard of the concept before? Okay, we have some thumbs ups coming in. Okay, lovely, lovely. Okay, great, great. So now let's move on to what mindfulness is. Okay. So mindfulness is basically the ability to be fully present. That is the most important component of mindfulness. Okay. We are present. We are aware. So in the sense, we are just aware of what's happening to us in the moment. We are paying attention to it. And we acknowledge it without being too reactive or judgmental. Okay, so these are the three core concepts, you can say, that come under mindfulness. Okay, so now when we say that we are paying attention or we are acknowledging, what we mean to say is, for example, acknowledging a feeling can look like saying, if I turn it into an object, this is a blue pen, right? I'm just acknowledging it's blue. I'm not judging it. Why is it blue? Why is it not black, right? I'm just judging it as a blue pen. So that is exactly what we do when mindfulness is in terms of our feelings. Okay. For example, if you notice that something is making you uneasy or you're getting angry, mindfully recognizing your emotion would look like telling yourself, okay, right now I am angry. That's it. You're not judging why, what, how, nothing. Paying attention and being aware of the feeling would look like this anger brings up a sense of warmth in me. It's not a very pleasant feeling, or it's bringing up this discomfort in my shoulders. That is what mindfulness would look like. So you're present with the feeling. Okay, that is what it means. And it also includes being a little accepting of it. So that means not judging. So you're just accepting it for what it is. Like I said, blue pen, remember? Okay. So now it's very funny because the moment, and I admit, when I learned about mindfulness in my graduation and everything, I used to think it's like, oh, we sit in like a meditative room and like it's like all cozy and we're not having any thoughts and we're all Zen mode. But the truth is, while that sounds ideal and amazing, mindfulness is not only meditation. Okay, it's not only meditation, it's not only having a blank mind or absence of thoughts or emotions. Mindfulness is a lot more than just that. So while meditation is a part of mindfulness, it is not only like, that's not the only thing that mindfulness contains. Okay, so just a little myth busting here, that meditation is not the only facet of mindfulness. We will be learning a lot more about mindfulness today. Okay, and its various applications and everything. Okay, so are you guys with me so far? A thumbs up to indicate you guys are with me. Lovely. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so now let's move on to a little history of mindfulness. Just two quick points. Mindfulness was coined by a Buddhist scholar called T.W. Rhys Davis, and he took it from the Pali word sati. Please excuse my pronunciation. I'm not sure if it's pronounced sati or sati. So this is the word that it was taken from. Okay. And then if you look up mindfulness, you'll see Jon Kabat-Zinn is one of the most pioneer people associated to the concept. And he had a role in getting it to the West, getting mindfulness to the West by developing it into like a, you can say, training program. So mindfulness based stress reduction. Okay. So that's basically how we integrated it and gave it momentum to the West. And now it's like a very beautiful aspect of therapy as well. Okay. So mindfulness, John Kabat-Zinn also said it was taken from the Pali word sati, which talked about mental activity or thought. Okay. And he also talked about it, and I'm quoting, the awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment. So we talked about present moment and non-judgmentally to the experience, you know, how the experience as it unfolds. We are paying attention to each experience moment by moment. That's basically what he said mindfulness is. Okay, so to break it down, it's being aware and paying attention on purpose. So we're choosing to pay attention to something, and we are non-judgmentally taking each experience as it comes. Okay. Yes, Lakshmi, yes, I'm on slide 6. I've not moved ahead because I'm still explaining the concept. Okay. Yeah. But good checking in, because it can indicate if there's something wrong with my sharing as well. Okay. So, right. So moving on to the benefits of mindfulness. Okay. So mindfulness has benefits to our overall health, mental and physical. Okay. It helps us with emotional regulation, in the sense when we notice our feelings, we are noticing what the feeling is bringing up in the body, because every emotion does generate a feeling, right? So for example, like I said, when you're angry, you can sense it, right? If I ask you to think of what anger feels like for you, you may sense it in your shoulders, you may sense this getting tense. So you're feeling tension in your body. Okay. When you're stressed, when you're angry, anything, even when you're happy, you have a feeling in the body, right? Because the mind and body are very connected. So being mindful helps with emotional regulation, because you're able to realize the dysregulation as well. Okay. So it helps us feel present with the emotion, and we feel grounded, which is the third point. For example, when you take deep breaths, you're being mindful, you're being present, and hence you feel regulated. Okay. Thus, it will help with stress management as well, naturally. It also helps with strengthening relationships. Now, why this happens is because it helps us be present with the people in our life. It can be even a non-romantic or non-related relation, like a colleague. Like when we are in the moment, we are present in the conversation with someone, like you and me are now present, right? I hope. Okay. So when we are present, that's when there is a strengthening of the relationship that's helping this webinar go forward, or there's a strengthening of your relationship with your family, friends, anybody, because you're being present with them. They feel heard, they feel seen. It feels like a back and forth, you know. So that's how it strengthens relationships. Cognitive benefits mean that you will be able to make better decisions, you'll be paying attention, and if you're paying attention, you'll obviously be able to make better decisions, right? Because we make decisions based on facts, or we just based on whatever's present in front of us. So cognitive benefits. Okay. And you also improve your physical health. Now, if all of your other parameters like stress, emotions, and all are regulated, or you're mindfully working out, exercising as well, of course, it will benefit your physical health as well. So mind body connection, again, coming back to that. Okay. So these are the benefits in your personal life. As of now, we have gone to that. So are you guys with me so far? Is this pace okay? Is anything feeling too fast? Anything it's feeling okay? Sorry, Ratna, you do you want me to slow down a little bit, you're saying? Or is this speed fine with everybody? It's fine. Okay, lovely. Okay. So now we come to, okay, thank you. It's going good. Thank you so much. So now we come to activity number 1. Okay. It's called body scan. Okay. How many of you heard of the term body scan? Can you just give me an indication? Okay. So don't worry, I'll brief you guys about the activity. So body scan is basically, we will be listening to a script. So you must have heard of guided meditations, right? You must have seen them. Okay. No, with medical terms. Okay. No. So this is different. This is different from the scan that we know, like as an MRI, CT types. This is a body scan in the sense you're mentally scanning your body. Yoga Nidra, yes. So mindfulness and yoga are so connected. So that's why I said, Lakshmi, I think you're going to have a wonderful time today. Okay. So body scan activity. So let me just tell you guys about what it is, and then we move on to the activity itself. Okay. So we are going to be, everyone here is going to be closing their eyes. I'll tell you when, right now, not right now. We'll be closing our eyes and I will be reading out a script, which will be like a guided body scan for you. Okay. Now, in the process of this activity, you will be instructed to clench and release certain muscle groups. And this is called, its technical term is progressive muscle relaxation, but I'm not getting into that. But basically, we'll be progressively relaxing muscle groups in the body. You don't have to get up for this. You can be exactly where you are. Okay, so don't worry about the way you're sitting or anything. Okay. Yeah, so this is basically what the activity is going to be. Just a heads up, since I said we will be clenching and releasing, clench and release at different parts of the body. It's very important, if any of you have any injuries or any weak part, or you're not sure of clenching and releasing that part, don't do that. Okay, don't have to clench and unclench that part of your body. Just listen to the yeah, instant relaxation technique. Exactly. So just ensure that you're still closing your eyes and you're with me. Okay, you don't have to clench and release. Just listen, and you can mentally put your focus on that part. Don't actually clench and release if you can't. Okay, don't push yourselves. Okay, that's the only most important thing. Otherwise, there's no right and wrong way to do anything in today's workshop. Okay, just feel calm, enjoy today, and don't take it on as, you know, that you have to get something right or you have to relax. Okay, forced relaxation is never good. So don't push yourself to relax. If it's feeling like your mind is wavering, you're feeling like thoughts are coming in, very normal. Okay, anyone will have constant thoughts, so don't worry about that. Okay, so I'll start reading the script. So everyone, ensure that you're sitting comfortably. Don't tense any part of your body right now. I can't see you, but I'm I'm hoping that you guys will be following through verbally with what I'm saying. So just keep yourself relaxed, be still, or if you want, keep water next to you. I hope you have that for you through the webinar. And just let loose, okay? Don't sit very like hunched and clenched, okay? Now, close your eyes, okay? And I will be reading a script. Just follow through the script. Don't open your eyes till I tell you that it's done. Okay. And if any thoughts are coming in, let them come in. They are clouds passing. We're not judging them. We're not judging ourselves. Okay. Cool. So I'm starting the script now. Okay. Okay, fine. Sit down in a comfortable place, like a carpeted floor, couch, or bed. Although you may feel sleepy or your mind may drift while doing this exercise, the goal is to try and remain alert and aware of the present moment. Gently close your eyes. Let your shoulders drop down and away from your ears. Bring your attention to your breathing. Breathe in and out. And just allow yourself to continue to breathe naturally. So don't force any deep breaths, okay? The aim of this exercise is to bring awareness to the physical sensations in different parts of your body. Your mind is probably used to labeling these sensations as good or pleasurable or bad or uncomfortable or painful. For this exercise, see if you're able to just notice what you feel without judgment. Okay. For example, do you notice tingling, warmth, pulsating, tightness, or any other sensation in the body? Again, it's not about whether these sensations are good or bad. It's about noticing them. Okay. Continue to breathe at your own pace, allowing each breath to come in as it may, without any conscious effort to change your breathing. So we're not forcing any breathing here again, okay? Notice your lungs slowly fill with air when you breathe in and deflate when you breathe out. Now bring your awareness to where your body makes contact with the chair or the sofa, wherever you're sitting. On each out breath, allow yourself to let go, to sink a little deeper into the surface below you. Okay. Scan your left foot for any sensations. Simply be aware of them. Scanning basically means you're just putting your mind to that place. Okay. Scan your left calf. Notice and allow any sensation that may be present. Scan slowly up the thigh. Allow yourself to feel any sensation. If you don't feel anything, allow yourself to not feel anything. That's also okay. Be aware of any tension or any intense sensations and see if you can breathe into it, which basically means while you're breathing in, just think of the breathing going to that part of your body, which is standing out a little bit. Bring gentle awareness without changing it. Okay. Now scan for any sensation in your right foot, calf, and thigh. Notice all the sensations and feel what is happening. Continue to bring awareness and a gentle curiosity to your right leg. Your mind will inevitably wander away from your breath and body, which is normal. When you notice your mind has wandered, gently acknowledge it and return your attention to the part of the body that you wanted to focus on. Now focus on your stomach. Feel it rising as you breathe in, sinking as you exhale. In case your heart rate slows down, it's normal. Okay? Keep focusing on your breathing. Now scan for sensations in your left hand. Simply be aware. Continue to bring gentle curiosity. And if you don't feel anything, again, it's okay. Okay. Now come back up to the chest. Sorry, we'll go to the right hand now. Same thing. Notice any sensations. Bring gentle curiosity. Come back to the chest. Continue scanning along the neck to the face. Feel the sensations in your jaw and throat. Notice how the back of your head rests against the surface under you. Bring your awareness to the top of your head. Okay. Now slowly, if you can, just try clenching and releasing your hands and your feet. Slowly clench. Don't hurt yourself. Slowly clench and release. You can do it with your hands, your feet. Okay. Notice what holding on and letting go feels like. Okay. Now take a moment to notice how all your body parts are connected. Let any sensation come to you. Notice the sensation for what it is. Accept whatever sensation there is as just that, a sensation that will arise and slowly and gradually change. It's just another part of you. Continue to focus on your breathing for as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, open your eyes and bring your attention back to your surroundings. Okay. So this is the activity, guys. Okay. Are you guys with me? Have you opened your eyes? Can you indicate it through some reaction? Okay, lovely, lovely. Okay. So basically, I couldn't integrate too much of progressive muscle relaxation. The reason is because if we try to do each muscle group, it can take a very long time. So I kind of did like a brief part of it. Okay. We've mainly focused on scanning our body. Okay. That was the whole activity. Okay. So just notice what it felt like for you when you were scanning? Okay, how did it feel and everything? Okay, I will take participant sharing towards the end after the Q&As. Okay, but a quick one word description of how you're feeling right now. Okay, okay, Gaurav, no problem. Thank you for informing. No problem. Okay, you're feeling relaxed. Anyone else? How are you feeling? Just use one word to describe. You're feeling calm, lovely, peaceful. Okay, mindful, wonderful. Anyone else? Feeling nice and refreshing. Refreshing. Great, great. Very good. Okay. So now let's move from the activity. All right. Let go of you, which at the end was relaxing. Yes, absolutely. All right. So now, and of course, I'll take more feedback at the end as well. Okay. So keep the messages coming in. So now we move on to practicing mindfulness. So right now, whatever you did was being mindful. Okay. This is what mindfulness looks like. You were present. You were paying attention. You were not judging. And that's what it is. Okay. So, while meditation is a common tool for mindfulness, meaning meditation is often used, like I said, interchangeably with mindfulness, but it's not the same thing in the sense every mindfulness doesn't mean meditation. What you did right now is not a meditation, but you still felt mindful, right? It is guided, yes, but it's not a meditation as such. Like you're not sitting like all this thing, you're just paying attention to your body. Okay. So now you don't have to use only meditation. Okay. So how do you include mindfulness or how do you practice it? You can practice it through your simple daily activities. You don't have to give it like a whole 1 hour of your time. Or you don't have to give it like a long part of your day. Literally, even if you give a couple of minutes to it, that's enough. Okay. Some examples here. We have mindful eating. So, just a bit of a self disclosure to talk about mindful eating. When I was in my third year of BA, I was that time graduating in psychology, and the students of the class, we had a small classroom. So we were given this assessment kind of thing to test our anxiety at the time. And this was like a couple of years ago. So at the time, I was quite anxious because it was third year, there were boards and determined masters and everything. So it was quite a scary time. So a few of us scored high on the anxiety test that they gave. So, because of that, we were chosen for a mindfulness program in the college. And this mindfulness program was called Swashodh. And in that, we learned a lot of techniques. Okay. There was an amazing instructor who would come in and guide us through these meditations and mindful activities that, like most of which I just have described here. And I remember this one time we did an activity called mindful eating. And that's when we learned that, it basically involves eating by being present. So a lot of times which I admit I do now, we have some show going on or we're eating while talking to our co-workers or something, we're eating and we're not paying attention to the food most of the time. So mindful eating can look like just, for example, if it's dal chawal, you're just tasting, you're noticing the texture, noticing the taste, you're feeling connected with the food. So that even helps you feel present. It helps you feel more full at the right time, So that's a good practice to start with. You can just start by mindful eating. And yeah, so about coming back to the program, they did a pre and post test. And after the mindfulness training happened, they realized that our anxiety scores did drop. All of us who took the test first time, it did drop. So yeah, just a bit of a background on that. Okay. So mindful walking can look like walking without any music or podcast. You're just walking and you're looking around you. You're being aware of your surroundings, being aware of what your steps feel like. Okay. It need to be an activity, even simply noticing how you feel around your loved ones. Okay, that's also a very good way to stay mindful. If someone makes you happy, someone's making you laugh, what does that joy feel like in you? Okay, just noticing those things is also being mindful. Sounds of nature, of course, when it's raining. Today it was raining really heavily in Mumbai. So we had that. So the sounds of nature, birds, rain, anything. And of course, there's engaging with art, which is part of the workshop today as well. So I'm looking forward to that part. Okay. So all of these activities are simple activities to feel mindful. Okay. To practice mindfulness. So if you notice, not all of these take so much of your time. So it's something you can take in your daily life. All right. You guys with me? Okay. Wonderful. So now we talk about mindfulness at work. Okay. So as you know, our daily life, I'm sure all of you are, I mean, most of you are HRs and, a lot of high posts and different places that you guys are from. Work stress is not new to any one of us. We all know what that feels like, what it can do for us, how tired we feel by the end of it, right? And while stress is a very inevitable part of our life, never going to really get eliminated, we can just focus on managing the stress. You cannot remove stress. Okay. Much as we would love to see people around us just not have stress anymore, um, if you can't manage effectively remove it, but you can effectively manage it, right? And actually, stress sometimes can even be a good thing. Not too much of it, but a little bit of it is needed when you need to get something done. Imagine you don't stress at all and you have this presentation due tomorrow, you will maybe not start working on it. So that little stress is also healthy, but too much of it is when we need to intervene. Okay. And a lot of times what happens is we tend to get burnt out because our schedules are too hectic, we can't navigate, it becomes too much. Okay. So that's when we can try to incorporate mindfulness at work. So how do you do it in a workplace? Because you can't mindfully eat when you're eating like a 15-minute break. You can't walk around your workplace as such. So how do you do it at work is what I wanted to help you with today. So mindfulness at work can look like consciously pausing and noticing your feelings. So one way to do it is the activity I did at the start, just giving it a color. Give your feelings a color. What am I feeling now? Okay, I feel like I associate it to blue. I associate it to yellow. You can even dig a little deeper to see why you give that color. Okay, just practice being, just pausing and being in the moment quickly. Okay, you can have mindfulness based training, or one of the things that you're at right now, a workshop for well-being. You can have being mindful during your meetings. That could look like, of course most of you must be doing this, but keeping your phone aside when you're in the meeting, having just being aware with the colleague, listening to your colleague or your boss, just being present as much as possible. Taking on one task at a time. That can be, what happens is we take on too much on our plate. Sometimes we don't delegate it, or we just get way too caught up with like too many things. We try to multitask and we're like super people, all over the place. But that's not always the best thing to do sometimes, because, well, you take on too much and then you're not able to finish. So taking on one task at a time. Okay. Of course, context is important here, depends on the job, depends on the occupation, but a few ways you can try it at work. Okay. So this is mindfulness at work. Okay. How it benefits. So now they've done a lot of research on mindfulness in the workplace, and they have cumulatively given the benefits here, which is stress reduction. Obviously, if you're regulating your emotions, you're being present, you're taking one task at a time, you will have little lesser stress, right? Job satisfaction, if your stress is lesser, you will feel better at your workplace. Burnout management. Burnout basically means being extremely exhausted physically and mentally. And that exhaustion is then called burnout. It's like how you see a candle jalti hai, like it burns out, right? So same way, we also burn out as people. So you want to manage, you don't want to reach the stage of burnout. So mindfulness is a good way to practice with that. Enhance coping skills, meaning that you obviously are able to deal with your emotions better. Thus, you have better relationships with your colleagues. Obviously, you're not fighting with anyone, you're not lashing out at anybody. So you're in a better state of mind. You are more focused, you're more aware. Naturally, mindfulness is being present. So you're listening, you're there, you're responding, you're aware. Okay. And overall, all of this will then give you better work performance naturally, right? Okay. So this is just the research. I took it from, I won't get into the technicalities. This is just a background of where I got these benefits from. All right. You guys with me so far? Okay. Now we move on to the next chunk of our webinar, which is art-based. Okay. Yes. Okay, great. So, art and mental health. And I think it's a wonderful, like I talked about, one of the benefits of mindfulness is engaging with art, right? So, engaging with art has several benefits. It's a therapeutic tool, okay? And the best part is you don't need to be an artist to use art as a mindfulness tool, okay? Honestly, I can only draw stick figures, and if somebody sees my drawing, they'll think a 6-year-old child has drawn it. Being very honest, but still, art can still be very therapeutic in the sense it makes you feel good, makes you feel relaxed, right? And even if it's simply coloring something, okay? So yeah, benefits of art. And art is a de-stressing tool. You feel little lighter when you do it. You feel decluttered also. It encourages creative thinking and mindfulness, because if you're using different colors, you want to be creative. If you're drawing, you want to be creative. Art has no right and wrong, so that's the wonderful part. It's also, there's a whole field called art therapy, and it's a whole different field which has worked with conditions like trauma, anxiety, depression, PTSD, and all of those, post-traumatic stress disorder. Then you have and it of course it instantly boosts your mood, because you kind of connect with your inner child or something, like you feel like a kid all over again when you're sitting with a coloring book, no matter your age, okay? So yeah, these are the benefits of art and mental health. Just show off any reaction. How many of you guys like doing art? You can just indicate with some reaction or anything. Okay, so we have people who like art here. Wonderful. Okay. So now we move on to the more fun activity, which is called being present with art. Okay, I hope you guys have your art supplies with you. If not, then just quickly go bring them in. So we're going to go to the next activity now. And this activity is called visualize release. That's a name. Okay. So the supplies needed are art supplies, and yeah, that's basically what it is. Okay. So now with your art supplies in front of you, start visualizing releasing your stress, whatever stress you're feeling right now. Okay. Notice it. We did body scan, right? Notice where it is, and start to just focus on your breathing first. Okay. I want you to do that before you start drawing anything. Let the breathing be a focal point for you. Okay. Now imagine that you are breathing out the emotion, like stress, anger, sadness, fear, whatever you're feeling. Okay. Imagine you're breathing it out. Or maybe you're letting it, even if it's love and light, even if it's a positive emotion. Okay. Doesn't have to be negative. Whatever you're releasing in order to relax, imagine, again, we're giving it a color, like the start. Okay. Give this feeling a color. Think about a texture, shape. It can be resembling a cartoon character. It can be your own creation. It doesn't have to be real. Okay. And whatever you're breathing out, now I want you to grab your art supplies and draw that out. Okay. And you can just use any color. We're not going to be showing each other drawings today. Use any color, anything you want to use. You can use a pen, a color pencil, whatever you want. Feel free. There's no right and wrong. Okay. Just draw it out. Draw out your feelings. I'll give you guys like 5 minutes on the clock. Okay. And we will start this activity. And it's 5:43. So around 5:47, 48, we'll stop. And you can feel free to finish the activity after the webinar also. It's for you. So yeah, so let's start and just realize, think about what's coming up in your drawing, what's feeling like. Okay, we'll share that later. So I'll be starting, and by 5:48, I'll stop the activity. Okay. So put on your creative caps and start with the art. I'll just mute myself so you guys can like peacefully get that done. Okay, 2 more minutes, guys. As you draw, keep noticing what it's feeling like for you. Okay, just notice any emotions, thoughts, even if it's something funny. Just keep that in mind and notice what's coming up for you. Okay. I'll give you guys a minute more to draw and then we'll close the activity. Okay. Okay. So, guys, indicate with a thumbs up if you guys are done with the activity because I'll be moving forward to the questions after that. Is everyone done with their art? You can carry forward after the session, no problem. Okay. Okay, great. So we are done. So now I will take a few questions and just a heads up, in case I'm not able to answer all, Ritika or me will put our my contact details. So you can always write to me and we can probably talk about it later. Okay. So yeah, I would love to interact with you guys. So first let's go to the questions and then I'll keep a whole other thing for feedback. Okay. So do you guys have any questions about mindfulness, any clarity of a concept? Okay, Ritika has put my details. Wonderful. Any questions about the concepts today? Any slide you want me to go over? Anything? You guys have any doubts? No doubts? It means everyone was very mindful and got all the concepts properly. Okay, guys, you can use the chat box and type in your questions about mindfulness, art, stress management, anything. Any questions that came up for you? No questions. Okay. Anyone else? Anything about any activity you want to know more about or something? Yeah, we have one question. Any tips on converting negative or stressful thoughts into positive ones? Okay, so what tends to happen is negative thoughts as such will keep on coming in, right? Our mind is always going to have thoughts flowing. Like I give the example, like there are clouds flowing out on our sky. We will not be able to possibly pick on each one of them because that will just be so overwhelming for a person, right? So converting negative excuse me, to an absolute positive will be difficult, but what we can try is to be present with it, understand what it's feeling like for us. For example, if a negative thought is, oh, I have a presentation due and I'm so anxious about it, the positive thought or the converted thought could look like, I will give it my best. So it's a bit of an adaptive thought more than it being completely positive, right? Positive also is not a bad thing, so that's completely okay if you want to convert it into okay, it's going to go great, because we are so fixated on the negative aspects of things. That's what we retain easily, right? So the focus will be that on that more. So we can probably shift it to the aspects that could work out. So maybe being grateful for what you have at the moment. That's a very good way to be mindful. Gratitude practice, as you must have heard of. So yeah, this is one of the way that you can cause a shift in your thinking pattern. So probably taking different perspectives. Okay, you got it. Thank you. We have a question. Is there something specific that can be done to balance work and life in a better manner? So good question. So work-life balance, one of the ways you can do it is to give yourself time to do self-care. And I don't mean luxury self-care. I mean literally like this, mindfulness practice, taking 5-10 minutes of your time that you take. And I'm sure we could have that much to spare, right? So giving that much of a time to just be present with yourself. It could be working out. It could be uh, going for a walk. It could be anything that keeps you feeling regulated. Okay, that can help us balance the emotional aspect of it, because when you're constantly working, you feel burnt out, right? We talked about that. So keeping space for self-care rather than doing aftercare. You don't want to do care. You don't want to start taking care of yourself post burnout. You want to prevent burnout, not cure it, right? So encouraging yourself to do that as like how you say, like a routine, like a medicine, how we take, that we want to keep time for ourselves as much as possible. And if it's like 5 minutes of your day, right? I know not all jobs permit immense time for yourself. That then we have delegation and multitasking, what I talked about in being mindful at work. No, being okay with seeking support, knowing your capacity. That's another way. And seeking support. So you can go to a mental health professional, you can seek your social network around you, but professional support is a very different kind of support that you get. So seeking therapy, that will help you with work-life balance in depth. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Does anyone else have any question? Okay, great, Siddhant. Thank you. Does anyone else have any other questions? I think we can take around 2-3 more before closing. Anybody?
Okay, Malvika, I think we can end the webinar. We have no more questions.
No more questions? Okay, got it, got it.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So let's move on to, of course, if you guys, anything comes up. Sorry, I can hear some sound. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So if anyone has anything else you want to reach out to in terms of question or further inquiries, you can write to me. The details are given. Okay. So now I would love to hear from you guys. So by feedback, I mean, what did you think of this webinar? How was it for you? Which activity did you like more? How was the activity for you? What feelings came up? How was it feel? In 1 minute, if you guys can give an overall feedback, it would help me be aware, be mindful of my own uh, content, and also know how it went for you. So please do drop in your feedback. It would really be lovely to read. So I'll just give you guys a bit to just type that in the chat box. Come on, guys. Feedback, feedback. So just put it into the chat. Okay, we have someone saying it was really good. Thank you so much. Think about the activities as well, what it felt like for you. If you liked anyone more or anything, or any thoughts that came, any insights that came that, okay, oh, I have this feeling, experienced well. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Anyone else? How did it go for you? The session was very good. You liked the mindfulness body scan technique. It felt very relaxing and soothing. Amazing. I'm so glad that you felt relaxed. You can practice this on your own also, always. You can just keep focusing on each muscle group. Very informative session. Thank you. Thanks, Ratna. Anyone else? What did you think of the art? How was the art session for you guys? I'm looking forward to hearing about that. Did you guys have fun drawing? You designed something after a long time and felt happy. I'm so glad. That sounds amazing. Must have connected with this part of you after a very long time. And I get, as you guys are all from different sectors of work, it's quite hectic. So I'm glad that this did justice to that. So keep the feedback coming in, guys. Before I close, I just have two quick quotes to show you all about mindfulness. One is that we can talk about it or write about it, but to truly understand mindfulness, you need to experience it directly, which is quite self-explanatory that you guys experienced it today. And before the body scan or before the color question, you guys were just learning about mindfulness. So you were not, I mean, there must have been much of a difference, right, between learning and actually being in the space. So that's what this quote means. And research shows that mindfulness has these benefits, as we talked about, and a lot of people are trying to implement it in their organizations for employees. Okay, so I just wanted to share these two quotes with you. Mindfulness is to be with present. Yes, absolutely. That you nailed it. Okay. Just to quickly recap, we talked about mindfulness, presence, non-judgmental, being aware. Integrating it has various benefits. It can be in our daily routine for a few minutes. You don't have to give it too much of your time. Art is a very good mindfulness tool as well, as you experienced. Okay, so it's just a big, quick nutshell of what happened today. Okay. Yeah. So these are my details. Feel free to reach out to any of these contact information. I work online, so you have my website, my Instagram. You can drop a DM, email. Here's my phone. You can leave a WhatsApp message. Okay. So feel free to reach out for any future communication. Okay.
Thank you, Malvika. Thank you. It was a wonderful, wonderful session.
Thank you so much. So thank you to IMT Care, and thank you to all of you wonderful participants. I had a lot of interaction with you guys. Few of you were very actively responding. So that's really wonderful. And I'm glad that you guys got in touch with the art part of you after so long, and that you could take away something from today. Okay. So I'm still keeping the feedback open. You can keep that coming into the chat box. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so just to leave you with one thing to keep in mind, that we want to try to practice mindfulness as much as possible in our daily lives, keeping it, even if it's a few minutes. We want to try our best to literally, as the title says, pause and unwind when we can. Okay, so I encourage you to practice the pause, try unwinding, and I hope that you can take even a sliver of it back with you from today. Okay, and I hope that it helps your work lives a lot more. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you once again. Ritika, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all once again, and have a wonderful day ahead.
Have a wonderful day ahead. Okay.
Take care. Take care, Malvika. Bye bye.